Hey guys, my name is Jan Rosecki. Some of you may know me because I've been around truck modeling for a while, and the reason why I'm filming this video is because I've just picked up this. There's few things that had to be said as an introduction, and I'll do that as I'm driving home, and then I'll do the unboxing part of the video. So now, as for the introduction, the very first thing I have to say is that I got this box from Heinz from modelmakershop.com. So this video is only possible to make with his help, and if you need a kit, if you need this new Scania, go to modelmakershop.com and get it there. Thank you, Heinz. That's an important thing. The second thing is, the reason why I'm doing this introduction unboxing video is that I wanted to do so since the first moment I knew this kit is coming. And well, it's been years ago, wasn't it? Or hasn't it? Unfortunately, the way I pictured that in my head is completely different to how it turned out. I thought at the beginning that this would be a really optimistic, very positive video, but it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be very optimistic. It's not gonna be very positive, because I already know that the kit is rubbish, and many of you probably know that too. I didn't even have to open the box to know they messed it all up, honestly. What has happened with this kit is that Italeri did again what they did many times before, but to be honest, they often did it with kits that were not so important. And now, of course, I don't want to make any Volvo fans angry, because the any FH Volvo before the FH4 from Italeri was absolutely terrible because of the same thing. But well, many of the kits were done a pretty good way, and some of not so important kits were also done a great way. Well, I'm happy to say that, but this wasn't. To make the long story short, this kit is based on the 4 Series, the first generation of 4 Series frame, chassis, engine, transmission, axles, completely everything. It's got the early 4 Series chassis. What's new in this kit? The cab. Yeah. The cab is new, the side skirts are new, the mud guards are new, and few other details that were kind of really required to be done as new. And the rest is good old 4 Series. I got nothing against 4 Series. I like them. But they've launched that, oh man, 26 years ago? 26 years. The 4 Series was launched in 1996, and the next generation was launched 2016. So they have based the kit on the next generation kit on a model that's 20 years older. Okay, did the same as they did with the FH12, FH16 kit, because that one is based on the F12, the first generation F12. So let's say the first generation F12 is 1979-ish, 1980 model, and the first FH was launched 1993-4. So the difference is 13 years. In case of the Scania, like, okay, 20 years. So because of the huge amount of old, absolutely obsolete components used in this kit, I guess it's just rubbish. Okay, but that's not the end, because on the Italeri eShop, where they have announced the price, I don't know what will be the selling price in other eShops. I don't even know. I haven't even paid for this one yet. Thank you, Heinz, again. Thanks to modelmakershop.com. On the Italeri website, you can find out today that this kit is worth 80 euros. 80 euros. Oh my god. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. I've just picked up the box. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't looked inside yet. I'll do it together with you, so that it's all, you know, authentic, accurate, whatever. The first time I'll see that, the first time you'll see that with me. But I already know that it's pretty bad. Am I expecting to find something positive inside the box? I don't know. Do I hope? Yes, I do. Is there a chance that despite all that I've just said, there's gonna be a good kit inside? Not for me, sorry. One last thing that I like to say before I'll open the box and stop filming in a car is that I've been in the industry, modeling, kit making, whatever, for a while. And back in 2010-ish, when Heinz Schwarz was selling so many Italeri kits, the truck kits, he got into very close contact with Italeri, that he actually was attending their future product meetings to help them with planning new products. Okay, so every autumn when the new products were planned, well, he didn't take part in any of the official management meetings, but he went there before to discuss the possibilities with Italeri stuff. I don't want to name the Italeri people, because honestly I've learned recently that those I knew are not working in Italeri anymore, and some of them are unfortunately not alive anymore. But that was just a meeting with some important people and some designers to discuss what they do, what's their selling numbers, what they could do in the future, and so on. And because I knew Heinz back then, he knew me and he knew Karel, because he was already selling some of our photo edge stuff, so we were working close together. He sort of knew that we have good ideas, and know also the business and manufacturing part of the whole thing. He took us there twice. So if I'm complaining about Italeri and about how things are done, well, do it because I know something from the background, something how kits are made, designed, what does it cost, and what's the process behind it, because I'm a mechanical engineer myself and I know quite a bit about 3D modeling and manufacturing and all that stuff, so it's not very unknown to me. I've been there twice. Twice we discussed all the potential ideas, improvements, modifications. It was, like I said, around 2000-ish, because it was, honestly, it was before the MP4 Actros was released, and it was roughly around the time when they have released this trellis, because I remember that the second time we were there, I think we were discussing the trellis selling numbers that were not very high, despite the kit is fantastic and it's a lot better than this one. Okay, like this one. So I know something from the background, and I know how things work there. I know something about it, but not all of it, and it has changed somehow since then, probably. But if I'm complaining, well, I'm complaining because I have a direct experience also with working with them, and you know, honestly, I'll be open. I was trying to help them with many things in the past, providing them reference material, and I'm not special in that. I just had the chance, so I went there, and I'm not the only one who was there, right? There's quite a few other friends, hey guys, people I know that were there, or either were there, or we were talking to them, sending them reference material. So it's not just what I would do. I'm not the only one, right? I'm not so special about it. It's not like it'll be me, and nobody else. No. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that I was helping them many times with all sorts of things, including number plates, right? Because everybody knows that probably all the number plates they have ever put in their kit were absolutely awful. Not realistic, not authentic, completely wrong, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Heinz did a lot to help Italeri and connect Italeri with model builders from all the individual countries to support them with reference that would help them to create realistic, authentic number plates. And I've created like 4 manuals, right? 4 simple PDF manuals on how a Czech number plate, because obviously I'm from Czech Republic, so I did this part of job, how a Czech number plate should look like. And they always messed up, okay? Always. I don't even want to go to details, but my experience with them is pretty bad. Mostly because obviously the background of the, I don't know who actually, I don't want to blame designers, project leaders, whoever, the background of those people responsible for the truck kit projects has nothing to do with commercial vehicles, transportation, nothing, right? They mess up everything they try to do, right? Including the latest wheels and rim sets, right? The tire dimensions in there are absolutely awful. They're too wide to be standard steer tire. They're, I think, too narrow to be the super single, whatever. It's just absolutely awful. Okay, they mess up everything. Although it should be said that the last few kits they made were not so bad. Trellis, new Actros, and the FH4 Volvo. These are brilliant kits. Okay, maybe not 100% correct, but very, very, very good. And I would just like to say hello to Andrei Myakutkin, because we were discussing that a lot in the recent past. Andrei and Natalia from A&N Model Trucks. I hope you know his products, and I hope you buy his products, because he's a great guy, he's got great skills, and he's doing a great work. Unlike but okay, comparing to this one, all the previously named kits from Italeri are very good. So it's not like it would be all bad, but this is bad, but not all of it is. Not all the other kits are. So I'm not very happy about saying all that. I had to, just as a quick introduction. And once I get out of the car, I'll just put the box on the table, turn the lights on, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so see you in a while. Hey guys, I'm in my hobby room. It's nice, quiet evening before Easter holidays here, so I should have enough time, and then should be able to focus on making this video. My son's asleep in the room next door, so I'm not gonna be talking that loud, but I think with this level of my voice, that the echo in my room won't be so terrible. So I hope that the sound quality will be somehow acceptable for you, although, you know, this is not a professional setup, so I'm not trying to pretend that. I wanted to set up a tripod. I have it here, but I was like, I'm used to hold the camera in my hands, and I like to zoom and focus on some of the details as we go. So I was like, okay, I'll do it this way. I'll keep the phone in my hands, and once I'll need both hands to manipulate, I'll just do a cut, prepare to set up whatever I need, and then I'll just go on filming so that we can take a look at that in detail. So just about how am I going to do it, and I believe that you're as much excited as I am to look at the box and what's inside. So let's just start. The box itself, itself looks nice. It's not nice, super glossy. It's just I would say a regular Italeri box. I like the color model they've choose. There's no, I'm pretty sure these will come soon or later, like dragons and naked ladies and all the crazy stuff, crazy chrome stickers and everything. It will come, but this is a good start, at least from this perspective. If you look at what's on the side of the box, at first sight you realize that the demo model has got the visor. I don't know whether it's like painted a wrong way. What's black should be yellow, and what's yellow should be black. I don't know. would you put it on the box of your model? I wouldn't. That says something about, I don't know, details. Detail focus. The box shows the assembled model, the layout of photo etch parts, chrome stickers, number plates. We also wonder why these don't have any black frames as usual. They always do it wrong, don't they? Otherwise, the cover sheet is not super extensive, is it? But I'm pretty sure some more will come. You can say that this is official licensed product from Scania. Isn't this actually the first time we see that on an Italeri box? Which, together with rumors, I have heard almost confirms that they haven't had it license before. Whatever. This is important what they say here. New fully detailed cabin and interior. Yeah. Updated engine cylinder heads. Well, the first time I saw that on the, I don't know, their marketing material, I thought it's a mess or a wrong translation or something, but honestly, this is exactly what you can find inside. Openable driver door, radiator grille, we'll take a look at that. I don't know whether that's openable really or something that could be like glued, open or closed. New side skirt, spoilers, tanks, exhaust. Well, they've pretty named all they've done new. And a lot of that inside is old. Anything interesting here on this side? No. New molds. By the way, if you realize, on some other kits, they used to say 100% new molds. It was never true because usually the wheels were old, but it used to say 100% new molds. They don't even try to pretend that it's new. On this, in this kit, what we got here? Blah blah blah. Instructions, paints, some of the 3D molds that you probably know from the internet and the online presentation that has revealed pretty much of the disaster actually. And again, I'm sending my greetings to Andrej Miakotki, who has spotted at first that in this picture it doesn't actually have any radiator. Obviously it does not, because and even this picture it's shown from this perspective, because inside the model there's no engine, there's no frame, there's no suspension. Why? Because they have used the old parts and they did not have it in 3D, so they couldn't show that in here because it was done the old technology. So they did not have any 3D models, and they only have 3D models of the new parts they made. So that's why I never showed that from above, because there's nothing inside there. I don't know what's that. Maybe it's something like a fifth wheel. We'll look inside whether there's an old or new fifth wheel inside, but I'm pretty sure that there's nothing in there, because they didn't have it on this side. Nothing too interesting. So let's cut the box open, and this is one of those moments just to show you that I haven't really opened that yet. I've been waiting for this so long, and yet I already know that I'll be disappointed by seeing what's inside, but well, let's go through that. Oh, like I said, this is the moment, one of those moments when I'll need my both hands. So I'm gonna pause here, open the box, and continue in a second. So here we are. I have just used two hands to lift the box lid, and I haven't looked inside yet, so let's do it. Let's open it together now. Is there any surprise waiting for us in there? I don't think so. It's a little bit mixed up. This belongs to the decal. Let's look at the photo etch parts. First, I'll need to spend some time comparing the real grille to this, because I think, and I already see that they usually mess up the structure a little, and usually it's not accurate, and what you got here is completely different structure that's in there. So I already know that we at Czech Truck Model will definitely make a new accurate grille for that, just like we did for the FH for Volvo. But still, well, okay, better than nothing. Better than nothing. I wonder what the plastic parts look like. Maybe some part of that structure that I think is missing in here will be in the plastic parts, and the structure will be combined together from plastic and photo etched. We'll see. The decals, oh, like I said, you know, guys, I already think that just by looking at that, I think that all the number plates are a wrong dimension. I think so. They're just wrong, except for the fact that they miss the black frame. Maybe, I mean, it's shown on the model in here, because as you can see, it has some kind of black frame, so maybe they wanted to, like, the black frame around the number plate be made by the plastic part, and oh, that's rubbish, isn't it? The dashboard decals, but it's looks to be a metallic paint on the logos. Can you set it a little? It's sparkling. It looks pretty nice. And this, wait a second, I'm not sure if I'm able to show that to you. Oh yeah, maybe a little. It looks like a metallic color. Not bad. There's more badges. 520, 560, 650, 770. Okay. Oh, Russian number plates. Wonder who's gonna use them now. Okay. That's the decals. Classic. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic. We are giving you a chassis or a frame that's 20 years old. I'm sorry guys, 26 years old. And it doesn't fit the new Scania, so for the price of 80 euros, we're also giving you instructions how to fix some of the errors we caused by our wrong decision. Awesome. And the chrome parts, I like they use it for the mirrors because it's, I mean, I did this by, you can see that the reflection, it's not super sharp and straight, but I like to use them sometimes. It's easy to making them by yourself, cutting them off. Not bad. Now we go, the instructions. Do we want to go through that or not? What do you think? Let's do it quickly, and then maybe we look at the parts, but let's look at the instructions first, because I'm pretty sure there will be some entertaining stuff. So this is the kit layout. Is it all we got? No. So there's our wheels. Obviously it's the new wheels they have released a few years ago, the ones that are somehow okay for the, I think I said it wrong in the introduction, that the tire width is about the super single wheels, and they pretend that you would fit the same size of tires here in the back, but they are too wide and it looks weird. But that's the new rims, new tires, new clear parts, chrome foil, photo etched. We've seen that already, and here we are. So this view brings me back to the year 1998, when I really started my modeling career, when my first truck model I have built was a 4 Series Scania. And yes, this is what we can see. It's the old parts, old 4 Series frame chassis components. You can see that we are not going to use a good portion of them. These are the ones that are grayed out, but it doesn't mean much because all the other ones we're using are typical 4 Series parts, and it's just terribly out of date, like terribly. And please guys, don't say it's not a problem. Don't say you're okay with that. This is rubbish. You are paying 80 euros for, or I mean, that's the price I saw on the Italeri site. So maybe you'll be paying even more. greetings to the United Kingdom. Maybe you'll be paying a lot more for that. You're paying 80 euros for these old parts. I'm pretty sure all of you have your stash full of these. It's terrible now, and you can easily tell apart the old sketch again, because this is not made from 3D sketches. You can see what the new style of, how to say, the graphics looks like. This obviously this is made from 3D models. So I'll zoom out a little. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 new sprues. We see this is the cap shell, bumper. That's the steps hidden behind the doors if you pose them open. I think they did the same thing they did with the FH4. Unfortunately, this part will most likely be here only for the left hand drive version. Here we got the interior. I think I recognize the floor pan, the dash, roof. Well, at least we have a interior in, because I'm pretty sure you all know that there are some Italeri kits that have no interior at all. So it could be correct interior inside, wrong interior inside, or no interior. So an interior is better than nothing, probably. Here we can see some of, oh, actually it's a mix of interior and chassis components. I'm looking at that through my camera, so I see the same thing as you do, so I'll zoom in a little. Sorry, my hands are shaking. You can see the seat bases. There's some new exhaust. Whatever is that? Some shocks. Oh, that's awesome detail. The windscreen wipers molded together with that, whatever it's called, a plastic strip underneath the windshield. That's awesome. Fuel tank. That's the new cylinder head, guys, or cylinder heads. That's what we've been waiting for some 20 years, because since the introduction of the 16-liter engine on the later versions of 4 Series Scanias, which was, I believe, around 2002 or something, that has changed on the engine. And obviously Italeri hasn't changed that yet, and now they did. And there's some more exterior parts. I believe you recognize the mud guards, the mounts, side skirts, grille. It's the aero kit, the front wheel arches, catwalk probably, and this is, I think, the top of the exhaust muffler, silencer, whatever that part is on the chassis. So I'll zoom out a little bit more. Again, if you have your 4 Series instructions, you can take a look, and I'm pretty sure the graphics is all almost the same. So they included that in the instructions, and they found out they made it wrong, so they corrected that. Fair enough. All wrong, guys, all wrong. It's an old 4 Series frame, so basically it's all wrong. This cross member is probably not anymore on that 4 Series. This cross member looks completely different, and these look completely different too. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure yet whether this part has remained the same or not. Oh, it has remained the same because it's on the A sprue. Or maybe they have changed that because the cap suspension on the 4 Series was not of the best design. That's, oh sorry, that's the rear mounts. Oh yes, that's This one, do you recognize them? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's probably it, isn't it? That's the old cab mounts, the old style of 4 Series kit. Like cab hinges and front mounts, cab suspension. That didn't work pretty well because it was quite easy to break these little plastic ice loops. So let's see how they solved it on this kit. This is all completely wrong. One thing that should be said is that well, there's a lot of things to be said. So we can start with brakes. The R series definitely has disc brakes all around, which, okay, we can say that we don't see many of those, and we could say that this represents a simplified brake disc, which is not true, but never mind. But the, how's that called, the brake cylinders, the brake actuators are completely of a completely different design and position. So looking at this, the first side you already see is the wrong drum brake design with the old layout, and it's all old and completely wrong. The airbag suspension, you can order your new next gen R or S series with either 2 airbag or 4 airbag layout, but that looks completely different. The front hanger or mount support is of a completely different design. So this is all wrong. This, well, let's say it out loud. This is the old 4 Series 14-liter engine. Scania has changed the engine design. Well, the 14-liter version is basically based on, and in fact, they even say that on the decals, because the first V8 in the 140, so it's basically the 0 series between the 141, it's the earliest models came out 68 actually, wasn't it 68? Or maybe it came out at 69. I don't think it's me who's wrong here now, probably. It's the first V8 engine. It's the 14-liter, and it's pretty much the same design, or very similar through 1st series, 2nd generation, 3rd series, and the 4th series. And the top of that engine evolution was the 530 horsepower version, and the 1st generation of 4 series. This engine was later, it's not even this engine, they have introduced a new 16-liter version of that engine, which has got nothing common with this, because this one is a, I believe, single camshaft. The 16-liter has double camshaft, and it's just completely different engine. Not even speaking of the transmission. It's completely different. Even the layout of the components on the top of the engine is different, like the turbocharger is here in the back, but the intake, and I'm pretty sure we'll see it all in here, the layout is completely different. This is supposed to be an injection pump, okay? Inline injection pump, not on the next gen, unfortunately. The front axle, the axle itself is roughly still the same design, but you can still see the old brake chambers. Therefore, obviously, the sort of old drum brake layout, everything old, multi-leaf springs. I believe the next gen has a little bit different spring design. Plus, if you're ordering a like 770 or something, I believe you would have your vehicle specified with the front with a front air suspension. So even the layout with leaf springs is a little bit out of date. The radiator, let me check, because I'm not sure if that has remained the same. I don't see it here. I can't see it here. Can you guys? Oh yes, it's in here. So it's still the same. And by the way, the fifth wheel as well. I have just realized that we're going to use 2 halves of the fuel tank and just 1 end cap. Okay, so still the same, This is the wheels, and I think it's pretty funny because what they are showing here in the sketch is the old Italeri wheel layout. Let me check it out quickly. Okay, we got that's the new tires, and if you can read it, that's why I wanted to hold my camera in my hand so that I can zoom on. 315 by 70 are 22.5. So technically the numbering is from the narrow classic standard width tires, right? But the width itself doesn't look like that. Or no, they were not smart. It's the same lettering on both sides. Never mind. So that's the tires. Where's the rims? The rims. I don't think there's really missing in here. Oh, it's in here. Oh, holy moly! Did you believe that? It's the first time I actually see it. I'll open it later, but from here I can already see that this is the old rims being suggested to use within the tires. That's interesting. That's interesting. So they have designed a new set of rims a few years ago, but they're using the old, the 30-year-old rims and a brand new kit. Awesome. But let's take a look at that later and finish the instructions. So the wheels, blah blah blah, nothing too interesting. Now we can see that, oh, that's interesting. They did a modification on that. So that's not an error in the instructions. This is the old fuel tank with one of the old lids or end caps, and this is the new thing they do on the RS Next Gen series, is the fuel tank control module or whatever that is. So they have done that, so they're using it with the old fuel tank, but the fuel tank is the old design and is completely different to the design of the new fuel tank they put on the other side. Here we can see its new parts, new exhaust, new front wheel arches, new whatever is that. Oh, it's an AdBlue tank, I believe. It's the one hidden here behind the fuel tank underneath the chassis. Color rear lights from inside. Yeah, we're gonna definitely make these fold edged because I don't even know how to paint it in Heinz. We'll make these fold edge at CTM. Here you can see the AdBlue tank. That's a nice detail. Would be a nice detail when building an like later model R series. Here's it from this kit. Here's the exhaust, new rear mounts. Okay, so this is the battery box on the back of the chassis. I thought they put the battery box in here, but no, there's that fuel tank control module is there, obviously. I'm going through that for the first time with you guys, so if I mess something up, just please have mercy. The air tanks, wheel chocks. Okay. here's the, that's it, that's the fuel tank control module. They had to do it that way because the fuel tank is short, and on the 4 Series there's a battery box in this area, so the fuel tank couldn't be longer. It's still the same, like I said, still the same fuel tank. Here the sketch is already showing the little bit different like type of wheels. It's more like super single. Here it's showing, and even here the old rims, like the standard steer, standard with steer tires, same as here. And the old absolutely terrible hubs, of course, sort of reduction-ish wheel hubs. Old fifth wheel mount. This is also pretty inaccurate. I think they don't even use, they may use it with some, but many of the modern tractors have the fifth wheel bolted, 15 mounts bolted through the side of the rail to get rid of the extra weight of the L profiles and 15 mounting plate. But the cross member in there is also completely different. I think it's tubular on the newer models. It's definitely not like that. Here we got a new fuel tank that looks completely different comparing to the old fuel tank. So when you put both on your model, each side will look completely different. Wow, bravo. And now we have the interior. Nice wheels. Nice wheels, nice seats. They even have the back. Not every model has them. Nicely detailed, at least from the picture. Better than nothing. Photo edged seat belt. Did they make 2 seat belts in that? Probably yes, because I think the previous one, the FH4 Volvo, only had 1 seat belt. Or am I mistaken? Not sure. The dash, interior pedals, obviously no clutch pedal, no gear stick. What a sad story. That's what I mentioned. That's the steps part panel that's probably available for the left hand side of the cab only. I'm sorry, Australia. I'm sorry, United Kingdom. Somebody will have to make it for the other side. So that's the inside. I don't know what to say more about it. Oh yeah, and here, what do they say about the door? Did I miss anything? Because I can't see anything. Oh, it's a little bit late, isn't it? Because here it's okay, you got a left hand side cab panel. okay, my bad here. Okay, you gotta make your choice, closed, open version. You gotta read the instructions, guys, because I think they've stated it somewhere here. Choose version before assembly. Okay, my bad. So it's either this or that, open, closed. You either cut it or don't cut it. And if you cut it, okay, well, no, you're adding something to that anyway. But here, you just cut it and go on the roof. I wonder, oh yes, that's probably, from the front parts. Alright, that belongs in here. The cap, blah blah blah, the visor. Make sure you paint it properly, unlike the guy who has built this one. And here they're using it's actually, I don't know I don't understand that. I don't understand the intention, because it almost looks to me that this demo promotion model has the new type of rims with the different separate wheel hub from the wheel set, while this one's got normal standard width front tires. There's no hub reduction in here. There's a hub reduction, or reduction hub, sorry, my bad. Reduction hub in here. There's just a simple straight axle in here. I hate that, but did I expect them to change that? No, I didn't. And I'm not disappointed then. The cab exterior, the capsule assembly. Well, it's not obvious from the instructions whether you will have to. They always do it like that. You assemble the interior first and you glue the shell, or not the shell. You never assemble the shell completely. You just attach the individual panels, which is not very good because when you're gluing these together, there's always some gaps and misalignment between the panels and even between the roofs. So I always prefer to assemble a shell and then try to fit in the interior somehow. It's sometimes it's not very pleasant, but it has always been possible. Even with Stralis, Actros, it sometimes requires some modifications in this area. Well, I mean, like in this area to trim a corner or something so that you can slide it from below, but that's, we'll have to find out. Somebody who's gonna build that first. I'm not gonna be the one. We'll have to find out. Okay, so this is the exterior details. Mirrors. Air kit. At least it looks like they have some Suzy connectors, electrical and air couplings in there. Good. The grille exterior. Oh yeah, the open version of the grille. Open version. What's the closed version? Oh yeah, here. Closed grille version. Just like that, do it like that. Looks like the plastic part has no structure. Although I thought there will be some. There's some support, like pistons or cylinders. Nice. We'll see what the part looks like inside. Again, the wrong super single wheel sketch in there. Okay. No comments I can think of. Here you can see the new tank, the old tank, the exhaust. I always like this part of the instructions because it starts to look complete and it always looks like, I can't wait for this building phase. But I must admit that here I only see what's all wrong. The engine intake arrangement on the 16 liter is completely different. And it was completely different even in the R series or even in the 4 series. So each time I look at that, it makes me cry. Never mind. And that's it, isn't it? Oh, the cab suspension, by the way. This looks a lot more robust than the previous way of doing it. That's fine at least. But I wonder who's gonna be tilting the cab with the old engine underneath. Not me. Okay. Here's the decals placement. Gold yellow from Vallejo. And here we are. So that's the instructions. So I'll make a pause here and continue when I'll take the sprues out of the bags, I think. You know what, I'll take it all out of the box in front of you before I start cutting the bag so that you can clearly see what's inside. So let me stand up and let's look what we got here. So there's one bag with the kept parts. We already saw the rims and the interior, obviously. This is the exterior clear parts and the new parts for the frame. And this is, guys, what you all have at home already in many examples. Let me put the box on the floor. So oh, and yeah, I shouldn't forget this, right? So that we have it all complete. Foliage parts, decals, corrections, and instructions. So this is it. This is what you get for your 80 euros or whatever. And this is all old, so it's about, I don't know, 1/3 of the kit content is the old parts. I have, let's give it a try. I have a little old helper in here, and I hope I won't break anything on that when I'm reversing it here in front of my camera. I've built this, I don't even know when, it's like a million years old, but it's the first one I was spraying with an airbrush, and I just keep it for myself to remind the good old times. And the frame, and the fuel tank, and the suspension, the engine. Well, okay, I hope it won't break. This frame is all you got in here. It's all the same. I don't know when they made these parts, back in 1996, 7, when the 4 Series was released. So I mean, of course you don't get, here they have that fuel tank control module. You don't get this. There's a replacement for the exhaust in the kit. That's different. Let me pull it out. That's one of those pictures. It's a, oh, that's the same orientation. Okay, so you're not getting the air tank back in here because there's that cover that resembles the battery box with fifth wheel, mounting plate, everything. You got the same different mud guards, of course. Even the front, the inner mud guards are different, fair enough. You don't get the spare wheel because nobody's using them in Europe anymore, like not much. We rather have more space for the fuel tank. Again, you can see that it's completely different design, different mount design, strap design. It's all different. So that's just about the comparison. Even the air tanks, it's probably completely different location. And of course, not speaking of the missing retarder, for example, on the transmission, whatever. So that's one more comparison to show. Okay, so let's continue. I got all the sprues out of bags. Well, at first the tires, I mean, you know them all. What I always dislike about the rubber tires is that lip, that the seam between the halves of the molds that causes the, what's that called in English, witness mark. It's difficult to clean. The thread itself is not bad, but I think I haven't used these tires yet, but I think there's something wrong with them, either with the width or something. Maybe not, but I've never measured that. But it's definitely, you know, I think, okay, maybe I'm wrong, because the width is okay, but they pretend they use it as a super single in the front or something in the wheel set. Here it's not a problem because they suggest using the wheels, the tires with the old rims, which I also hate, because if you look at, let me pause here. Hey, I'm back again. This is what I wanted to show you. This is what I hate about the rims, what I have always hated about them, is that they, can you see the shape of the holes in the rim? It's a modern European tubeless type rim, and I have never seen any with holes of this shape. Because of molding direction in this projection, it looks rounded, but the holes, you can see that they're always like elliptic. And furthermore, there's two weird large holes and some more small ones, so it looks completely different. What looks okay in my eyes is this, because that one's got rounded holes and roughly looks like what modern rims should. It's a new CTM item. We'll bring it on the market soon. My intention wasn't to show that, because that's not super important. What's important is that this has never looked good, and they're still using it on the new kit, which is sad. So enough for the wheels. Now, how's the rest? You know, let's start with this, because this is not gonna take a long time. I said that all you got in that bag you already have at home. That's not true, because this is the new cap mounts. So you don't have that, but the rest, there's nothing to talk about. All wrong: chassis rail, L tanks, cross members, axles. Got nothing to add to that. You even have the old steering wheel in here. It's all wrong. Of course, the intake filter, wrong as well. The pan under the engine, it's like the cover, the anti-noise. All bad. So throw it away. Well, we can't throw it away because it's the model chassis. So, but I would love to throw it away. And now finally we got the new parts. So how's that? Let's look at that. Let's start with the, let's look at that overall. So we got the dash, seats, door panels, and cap panels, roof, back wall. Okay, this is nice. It's got a V8 logo, so it'll be easy to paint. I think we're right, not so bad. I have no idea what the real seats look like, but this is much better than any usual seat. And you get the backs for them, which is nice because it's always included. The door panels, they also have a nice speaker detail That's not bad. This is the cap steps, the ones that go into the bumper. Sorry, I mean not the bumper, but the side, the front wheel arch, I guess. So which is like that's why I said bumper, because it's integrated. No, it is, and it is not here. These are the ones. So we got these for both sides, and this is probably the one for this side, for the driver's side only. Let's look at the dashboard. That's kind of nice. Nice, I mean, an average 1/35 scale model builder would say, what's nice about that? Because they are used to see a lot finer details. For us, somehow okay. We'll have to compare that to the real layout, but okay. Awesome. Okay, that's the cupboards in here that go in here. This is all flat. Not bad. Not bad, at least. Okay, and this is, what's this? Is the bunk? No, this is the panel that goes above the windscreen. So there you got your whatever radio, CB radio, tachograph. As side panels. Nothing too special about it. The cab. Let's look at that. There's a few important details in here that will have a huge impact on what the finished model will look like. And this is the lights. Unfortunately, the structure here seems to be quite shallow. And what I have noticed already is that the clear parts for the lights are just clear and flat, plain. There's no structure on them. No fine, gentle ribbing, nothing. Not that, I mean, that many of the modern lights don't have anything like that, but this seems to be too simple. Too simple, and I don't like it very much. I think it won't be very easy to make it look good on the model, because let me get the box up again. But you can already see that on that model a little, because it's all silver. But when you look at the real lights, the structure is really complex. It needs chrome painting, it needs the plastic parts around. It's, oh, let's do it that way. Let's compare it in here. Huh. Doesn't it look little like different? What's these? What's these 3 ribs in here? I don't see anything like that in here. That's not convincing. It won't be easy to make it look good on model. Even aftermarket parts are not easy to be made for this. Like with photo edge, we cannot do much for this part of the model because it's not flat. So this is the step panel for the left-hand side of the cab. We've talked about it already. The front cab panel, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? That's got some nice details. That's nice. And the cab panels, not bad. Okay, the suspension, the airbags are molded in. Oh, that's nice, deep. Doesn't look bad. Here we got the roof. Sorry for light. And there's the roof back panel, the Scania sign. I think interesting on the inside, not much. There's, okay, this is interesting. There's an, let me try and zoom in. Can you see that there's a groove that suggests you where to cut? Obviously it's not on the other side because they don't plan that to be open. And now there's losing my voice slowly, so let me get a bit of tea. Last two sprues. So this is interesting. It's the wheel chocks. They're actually injection molded plastic in real life too, and they have like thin walls and pretty deep holes. It's not easy to make in model. 3D print would be good. This is not perfect, but I think they made them in some other models. I thought they look worse than they look here actually. The grille, like I said, it's all flat. Here's the background for the lights in the grille. The holes are open so that you can lay the photo edge over that. Okay, now let me bring it back. Okay. Is there anything else interesting? The mud guards. There's nothing special about them. The like front wheel arches. Okay, this is interesting. Yes, this is the catwalk above the fuel tank control module, right? Just try and compare these guys to the catwalk in your Iveco's trellis kit. Italeri actually managed to make that part with through holes, which are almost as fine as the foldage part we produced. This is not that good, and that's shame. And there's a 4-finger catwalk pattern on the catwalk. Well, catwalk, you know, a generic plate that's above the exhaust. How about the inner side of the aero kit? Or focus. There's some ejector pin marks, ejector pin marks in there. I'll have to clean up. And this one is actually pretty deep. Oh, look at that. You can easily put a point, I don't know, 0.3 sheet in there. So that's the second yellow sprue, and the last one, it's some of the chassis and whatever, even interior parts. Yes, so let's start with the steering wheel. It's not bad. Seat, suspension, seat bases. Some other, it's a side skirt, steps, I believe. The rear mudguard mounts. The famous new cylinder heads. that also look rubbish, don't they? Does it resemble the real shape of the rocker covers they're using now? I'm not so sure. But at least we get something. Here's the new fuel tank. It's the top. The mounts are integrated, and the straps and everything. What's next? There's a couple of Scania badges, signs. It's probably for the rear part of the truck. Okay, it's the fuel tank control module, this one. There's the exhaust. And some other fine, like small components, but actually I don't see anything that would be, this is I think like a cooler or a heat exchanger for the independent air conditioning, isn't it? I have noticed that in the instructions that they have it in here. Let me try to dig it out quickly. It's underneath the cap and it's here. It's not shown in here, but it's shown in here. Okay, that's it. But it would deserve a better foliage structure. This is just flat and plain. Okay, this is the part with the trailer couplings. Ain't special, is it? Have you guys seen the international, what do they call it? International Trendstar CO 4078 cap over? The reissued, but actually new tool version of the cap over from AMTL. That's a lot finer than all these parts. That kit is beautiful. This is just average. It's at the same level of details as the 4 Series was. Wow, okay, let's look at this because this looks nice. So unfair, it's a seat control panel for both sides. It's mirrored. At least here we get something. And this is also nice. Do you guys know what this is? I think that's a control panel for the door, isn't it? Like for the mirror, and I think lights, they probably have the lights control in there as well, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's the shocks. New shocks? Let me check because I didn't notice that. It means that at least something from the... We are not using what? I don't know. I thought there's some of the parts from the old sprues won't be used, but never mind. So this sprue is, let me check, it's blah blah blah. It's this one, isn't it? It's F, and the shocks are in here, F28. So I'm wondering where we are using it. F28. Not in the front, obviously. Not in the front. So now it makes me curious where actually the mounts are used. Does it have to do with the cap suspension? Because I thought, okay guys, maybe you have seen that. I haven't. I must have missed that somehow, somewhere. It's not this. This is 26F, so it's the front. Okay, I'll have to take a closer look then, because I don't know where these parts are used. F28, but these are quite big shocks, aren't they? Okay, well, oh yeah, I can see that. Okay, that's a nice detail. That's something that was missing on the previous, on the old suspension. Yeah, I can see already, because yeah, that's one of the common upgrades that was done by model builders building later. I don't know whether it was just later 4 series, or just R series. The old early 4 series Italeri parts were missing shocks in this area. Okay, good. They have added something. That's better than nothing. So that's the shocks. And well, like I'm saying this, I don't think there's anything super special about this. Like same with the catwalk on the strides. These holes could have been through. Could have a lot of finer details. These air tanks have some fittings, which is nice. You'll probably lose some of the details when filling and sanding these tanks together, but okay, at least they tried. Well, and that's it. I don't know what to say. You know, I think I leave the conclusion up to you guys. Whether you think that all this is worth that money. Yeah, I need to add a few more parts. This. And the decals. So this is it. Believe or not, I was looking for this moment for a very long time, I must admit. And you know, I am a detail freak. I am, but in fact, if you want things to be just correct, that's something different, isn't it? Like, I'm a detail freak and I'm a rivet counter and I'm crazy about, you know, the F89, F88 Volvos being built properly. Yes, but with this, I just wanted it to be correct. Okay, I don't mind if there are any fine details missing, or if there's not enough bolt details and rivet details on the frame. I wouldn't care. Even with simplified engine, I would be happy for that. But I wanted it to be correct. Okay, I wanted it to be right, so that I can just build it out of box and detail it. With this kit, I don't know how to build it, because the new parts are okay, but the old parts are rubbish. And in my eyes, it will never make the model look good. Of course, I'm I'm sending greetings to all my modeling friends and colleagues around the world. You know, all the guys I know from Airbag show in Belgium, the Dutch guys and Danish guys and guys from Belgium, and also all my modeling friends in England and United Kingdom. We met at Gaydon. I hope to see you soon all. Let's discuss that. And I'm pretty sure the Danish guys will have an easy life with this, because they'll cover the frame with the ticking plates and won't care about engines. That's always a approach. It makes things easier, and I'm looking forward you guys building them like that. But for me, I like frame, engine, suspension details, so I don't want to cover it up. So I don't know how to build this model. I don't even know if it makes sense to make any aftermarket part for that in terms of fixing the frame issues, because honestly, how many of you really care, right? Or how many of you care to that point that you would really buy some aftermarket parts for that? It's the same case as the Italeri FH12, FH16 Volvos, right? That's the same story with the suspension sets being made by M&G Moldings with air suspension and all the correction sets. It needs a lot to build that properly. So like I said, I'll leave the final conclusion on you guys. Let's discuss that under the video or on my Facebook modeling site, Scale Truck Models by Jan Rosecki. The conclusion. As I was closing the box and I wanted to start downloading the clips from the camera and getting them together so that you can watch it, I really realized what the conclusion is. My conclusion is, I'm not gonna build this kit. Not anytime soon, really. I do not want to build it wrong the way it's in the kit, with the wrong engine and frame details and everything. And I really don't feel I want to spend my time correcting that. So instead, I think I'll build the international capover from AMT, because that's a great kit. Or I'll just pull out some gold old KFS resin or something like that. But I don't think I'm really building a Danish style, because I haven't been in that mood for a while, so that won't be the case. So unfortunately, I'll put it in my stash, or once we'll finish making the photo edge parts for that at CTM, I will sell it again, or I don't know. Still, I would like to thank to Heinz from Model Maker Shop, who has sent me this example. If you want to get a kit, do it there, because modelmakershop.com is a great e-shop, and Heinz is a great guy, and he's done a lot for modeling. So if you can support him, please do it that way. And that's the end of my review or unboxing. So please leave your comments under the video, and let's discuss it there. Thanks, and take care.